I've had a lifelong dream to be dropped off in specifically Panama, Central America, and make it home. Go home. How? I don't know. Whether it's hop on a bus, hop on a train, walk, hike, get in a river, float. Epic Journey Virginia is a shorter travel. It's to explore the state of Virginia.
The Blue Ridge of Virginia is one of the top, most beautiful places. I have to say that there's a spirit, there's an aesthetic, both flora, fauna, that you just can't be experienced anywhere else.
The Epic Journey, in a nutshell, is about 450 miles across the state of Virginia from south to north, starting in Galax at the border of North Carolina and all the way up to Harpers Ferry in West Virginia. You only had 3 options for transportation. It was on foot, on bike, and on the water. The goal of it is to immerse yourself as much as you can in Virginia, get as much out of it as you possibly can, and meet the most amount of people you can.
I was really on the fence. I'm like, man, this just seems like an awful lot of work, And I'm like, it's probably not even gonna happen. I mean, this is just kind of too much. These guys are just talking to pass the time. And then I went to the Banff Film Festival, and when I came out of that, I was no shit. I'm like, all right, I'm in, 100%, let's do this.
The first time we told Barry about the trip, he was immediately in, and he never backed out. He never had any less gusto the whole time.
How you feeling, Barry?
Good. Ready to go, man. Just ask me in about an hour or two.
How you feeling, Bryce?
Feeling good. Ready, kind of.
So the first day we're riding out of Damascus, jumping on the Creeper Trail.
I can't tell you how many times as a kid I was jogging or biking on the Creeper Trail. My dad owns a campground at the end of the Creeper Trail.
That's a fantastic trail. Obviously, we went the wrong direction on it.
Most folks who go there ride it downhill, but of course, due to Bryce's route planning, we were going uphill.
It was all a gentle uphill. It wasn't nothing too hard, but it was all uphill.
I don't think there's ever a part where I said I love the ups and downs. There's never, well, let me rephrase that. The downs were awesome.
I don't really feel like he was complaining. He just likes expressing himself.
But there were times where you're just like, my God, I'm so sick of hills.
This is my new least favorite hill, right here.
So the New River Trail was very different than the Creeper Trail.
The hills were over because you're gonna be cruising along the river. It's the New River Trail. It's going along a river. Rivers don't run like this. Rivers run like this.
But the thing with the New River Trails, it's overburdened with horses, and probably worse than that, horse people. I came up on 2 horses, and they were off the side of the trail, stopped, so I assumed that meant we continue. As soon as I got close to the horses, and I was probably going 10 miles an hour, nothing crazy, but I was just trying to get past them. The woman went nuts. I didn't know what to do, so I just stopped. I just stopped right where I was, and her horse actually started to freak out. Her poor husband starts yelling at her, like, why are you telling them to stop? They're almost past us.
How many miles have you guys done?
I think this is 90 right now, so I'm gonna pop in just for a couple of miles of rafting, and it'll feel good to get the joints into some nice cold water. Pack rafts in general are pretty much anything that floats that you can throw on your back and take with you and help propel yourself, and then pack it back up and not have to put it in the back of a truck or what have you.
When we take our bikes, and we'd have to break them down to strap them to the front of the pack raft. So the front wheel had to come off, the back wheel had to come off. They can haul a serious capacity. Most of us had our bikes plus all of our gear on those things through Class 2 and 3 rapids throughout the trip, and they held up the whole time.
It was a blast. It was almost like a vacation from the ride within the trip.
It's not just that. When you're on the river, you have more chance to look around. Just gives you more time to appreciate natural beauty.
Foster Falls was at the end of the first day, about a mile before camp. We weren't sure what to expect. They weren't rolly at all. It was literally falls.
Yeah, it's good.
My pack raft actually bent in 2, which was okay. It was made of plastic.
Getting in your raft for the first time, now all of a sudden you're just wet, you're kind of cleansed, you know what I mean? You feel good, you feel relieved. and it brought some real positive energy to the campfire that night. Tell you what, man, this feels, woo!
As Yulita was apparently not very happy about the falls because she sprung a leak. So immediately 2 miles into the trip, I had a hole in my raft.
So everyone on the team had alpaca pack rafts, the best pack rafts on the market as far as I'm concerned. And then there was Nate.
Nate took an alternative approach with what we'll call the economy version of that.
Nate had the affectionately named Azulita for his little blue. And I don't know the particulars, I don't want to start any rumors, but I heard that it was cost $40 on Amazon, and it was rated not even for flat water outdoor use, but flat water pool use.
And she wasn't really a pool toy. She was maybe a grade above a pool toy.
So one of the things I love about Nate is is he doesn't give a shit.
Worst case scenario, again, with the adventure is we sink together, and then it becomes an adventure.
The people that we asked for water were actually some of the most fabulous experiences along the way, especially the weaver.
I think his name is Bob. Bob the Weaver.
He runs a Virginia textile, actually the smallest textile mill in Virginia.
When you go 3 miles from right up there where that car is right there, you're going to come to an intersection where it goes left or straight ahead.
Try to give us directions. Directions weren't the greatest. You know, he wasn't really excited about the way I was navigating.
3 miles from here now. Don't look at your map. Just listen to me.
All right.
3 miles down there and you'll get downhill all the way.
He had better plans for where we were going, but we fixed it.
Zooming into town as fast as I could from the perimeter into the center of the city was a walk down memory lane going right by my old middle school and through my old neighborhood actually. After 35 years, I decided to go back to Roanoke and see what it was like on a bike.
Oh yeah. Day 2. Didn't mean to leave you hanging, buddy. Give it up. Nice, man.
On day 3, I knew it was time for me to stop.
He had only planned on going to Roanoke, so we knew he'd be leaving.
I think he got everything out of it he wanted, so I was happy for him.
Yeah, so morning day 3, I felt terrible. My undercarriage was not in a good state. I've spent about 3 months gearing up for this trip, and the 40-mile ride was the longest. And the last 2 days, we've done somewhere around 170, 165 miles.
You know, 69, we sent a man to the moon and brought him back safely. I mean, we can do amazing things with technology. Why can't we invent a bike seat that does not require you to have reconstructive surgery on your taint if you go more than 30 stinking miles on it? They're just not, you know, it should be like 2 hands cupping your buttocks as you ride. I don't know why they can't invent that seat. I should do that. I'm gonna invent the better bike seat.
Woo! Oh, my ass is on fire.
Nacho Bridge is incredible. It was my first time there, and it's this big natural arch. Nate did not like the commercialization of Natural Bridge.
This is incredibly impressive, to say the least. I mean, this is much bigger than I thought it was. But yeah, you get here and it's just like this touristy crap, you know? It's like, anytime you can go buy a keychain with your name on it before you go see this natural feature, I just think it cheapens the whole experience. Yeah, you can go see those things. Yeah, you can go to the Grand Canyon. But the question is, are you experiencing them?
It didn't bother me. I'd been there before, and I've seen other natural bridges that weren't commercialized that I've found in nature. Yeah, they commercialized that one, which to me is good, because all the other ones I went to, there's 80% of the population is not going to go to that. Foamhenge, never been there. I think everyone's like, Bryce, what the hell are we doing? And I was like, I'm not sure, but let's go. And I think I almost had tears in my eyes. That place was awesome.
It is a life-size replica of Stonehenge made of foam. Exactly what it sounds like.
Something I wanted to do, just come experience parts of Virginia that are, a little odd, strange, but it's got character. It's fun. I'm glad we made it here. It's a great morning. You get the sun shining through. You got Foamhenge. A sorcerer made it. He rose the stones, because it said that in the pictures and stuff.
I'm still not 100% sure why it's there or why it was built, but it was definitely worth stopping and worth seeing.
Riding up this little hill, cresting this hill, and we see this 90-year-old guy in a full suit and tie riding his little John Deere riding mower. That's awesome. I wish I was him one day.
We ended up losing Nate in Waynesboro.
Sorry you're gonna be going, can't finish, but it wasn't a big deal. Nobody was crying about anything.
Day after day of this just catches up with you. It just caught up with me this morning, I went to bed feeling 35, I woke up feeling 45.
It's about 4 miles and 2,000 feet of climbing up to the top of Skyline Drive, so it's gonna be hard.
All right, we stay on this and then we take we stay on this.
It was extremely, extremely steep. It wasn't the easiest road to go up either.
I think Aaron might have got off his bike first. And that was one of the things we were trying to make. Hey, who's gonna have to walk first? I'm looking back, those guys are walking, so I didn't want them to feel bad, so I walked too.
Just about all of us, except one, Bev, had to walk pretty much the entire way. She crushed it that day, and really, it was pretty inspiring to watch. Well, I heard stories. I didn't actually watch it since she was so far ahead of me.
Well, I love smashing people's stereotypes of females. First of all, because it makes them in the future expect different things. They won't expect that the girl's always going to be the one at the end of the pack holding on with the least amount of fitness. If they ride with me, they know sometimes I'm going to be pulling their butts up the hill, or sometimes I'm going to be fixing their bike, or sometimes they're going to be pushing their bikes up the hill and I'm going to be riding.
We could have been calling her, Babe, right? Nope, she's gone.
At the end of this day, I was pretty bummed to be leaving and regretting that I hadn't signed up to do the entire thing.
So it's just going to be Jamie, Aaron, and myself.
Jamie was 100% ready to get off the bike. Come the second day of trekking, if you asked him that same question, I think he would have changed his tune.
That first day of hiking was miserable.
Hiking the Appalachian Trail through the Shenandoah is incredible. The views are incredible, the trail is incredibly well marked and manicured and signposted, and it is very easy to just turn your brain off and walk. That last campsite that we had that last night, it was right on top of this ridge line. It was very little underbrush. You could see forever. It was just picturesque forest.
It was nice to finish the journey and say like, hey, we did it, we accomplished this. We had this mission and we did it. But it was also sort of a lot of sadness that it was going to be over for me personally. This has been a great trip. There's been a lot of introspection, a lot of camaraderie, a lot of just strangers along the way helping us out.
For me, it's reinforcing the kind of the philosophy that there's nothing that's too out of reach. A lot of people see things like this and they think, wow, that's too long or too crazy. I could never do anything like that. I'm not strong enough. I'm not fit enough. I'm not, outdoorsy enough. Whatever the case may be, I think anyone is capable of doing something like this. You just have to want it.
One more day and it'll be done. The Virginia Epic Journey will conclude. That's it.
I'm tired of these pricks.
Been
out here for 8 days, and I swear to God, it's amazing. Neither one of them are dead.
I can't quite hear you over his grumbling.
I will never ever do this with these holes ever again.
We were originally paddling from the Put-in, and we ran across a rafting company and some of their guides paddling down the river with some clients.
And we're like, that's kind of weird. Bryce, did you check this out? I'm like, I didn't really think through everything. I figured we're gonna be all right.
We ran the river left the first time. It's a smaller Class 2 rapid, and it went perfectly fine. We ended up seeing some guys on kayaks that kind of helped guide us through. So we decided to turn around, paddle upriver a little bit, and hit that Class 3 rapid. It was a big, big roller, probably 4 or 5 foot wave going over it.
So Jamie hits it, sweet. He hits it perfect, goes down nice. So then I'm up next. I go hit it perfect. Well, not perfect. Trying to get out of this wave, can't paddle out of it.
Oh, down he goes.
Next thing I knew, like 100 feet later, I pop up in front of my boat.
It looked like, of all the things he was trying to recover, and his highest priority was his Virginia's for Lovers hat. Didn't care about his gear, his pack rafts. He wanted that hat back.
The Virginia's for Lovers hat I wore the whole trip. Meant a lot to me, actually. So that was in front of me, so I swim and get my hat first.
Did you panic a little bit?
Yeah. Then we got a short distance.
We pull in with the boats and we're done. We did the entire epic journey all the way across Virginia, 450 miles. We did what we set out to do like 8 months ago, and it feels good to do something like that.
My respect for the natural beauty of Virginia has increased tremendously since the epic journey.
There are a number of places we visited that are in my backyard. I have no excuse for not visiting them, but I never have.
The epic journey is one type of adventure, but I know a lot of people that do a lot of different things.
But whatever your interests are, whatever you like to do, find something that's a little bit outside your comfort zone and try it and see if maybe it's something you like.
I feel like I know now what the challenge really holds. It's more daunting than I ever expected, but I've been there, so I think I can do it.
If given the chance, I would definitely do another epic journey. And chances are there will be more chances.